Um, okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so basically, everyone knows what UI design is all about. UI design is more of design interface design, just visual design, converting your user research, whatever you've gotten from your user research, converting them into visuals with the use of design elements, just like typography, icons, and the likes, colors, alignments, and the fundamentals of UI design, basically. So that's what UI design is all about. And user interface design is more of attracting your users rather than retaining them, in the sense that if a user sees an attractive UI, the user is more compelled to actually try out that particular product rather than um, trying out a very ugly product. Now, to retain that user, that's when user experience comes in. I'm not going to go into user experience. So UI design is more of capturing, attracting your customers, attracting your users. Then UX is more retaining them by using your platform and all. So yeah, so to understand UI design, there are some elements you need to understand in UI design. So that's understanding the fundamentals of UI design. So I'm not going to talk much on these fundamentals because I don't want to take too much of your time. So basically, the fundamentals of UI design is just the first one, contrast. I think we all know what contrast is all about. I think contrast in visual design is more of is the way elements appear clearly different from each other. So it's more of leading your user's eye into they ought what they ought to take note of first. So in the sense that contrast can be in form of color, it can be in form of size, your font size or element size, and also whatever you want your user to take note of, you use contrast, and you use contrast to define that. The visual hierarchy is almost the same as contrast, but this one size itself. So let's say for example you are designing a hero section, and your header would be the first thing you see. Your header is the first thing you see, which is bold, which is going to be bold and legible. Then your copy comes next. That's the next thing your user sees. Then the next thing that comes under that will be your button. So you are leading your user's eye from the header to the caption, then down to the CTA. So that's visual hierarchy. That's the essence of visual hierarchy. Is so more of arranging elements to show the order of importance. So we designers, we structure visual characteristics like icons, typography, menu icons, typography, and all, so users can understand information easily. So by laying out elements, designers tend to influence users' perception and guides them to desired actions. Like you want your users to carry out a particular action. So, like the example I gave, you are leading them from the header to the caption and to the CTA. So that's a very good example of visual hierarchy. Then the next one is typography. So for typography, we all know what typography is all about in design. Um, so typography is just the process of arranging letters or text in a way that makes your copy legible and visually appealing to the reader. So, like, if you are designing, you want to make sure your copy is legible in terms of line height, in terms of font size, in terms of tracking, in terms of kenning and all. We'll go into that later. Therefore, white space is just the space around your elements. It doesn't necessarily have to be white, just like being implied. And another name for white space is just negative space. So white space allows your design to breathe, and it gives your user like the sense of, okay, this is what I'm supposed to focus on, not just everything scattered around and everything looking busy and all. So white space tends to make your user focus on something and make them understand what they are looking at clearly. Then alignment is very, very important in UI designs. I see a lot of UI designs where just the like some elements are always placed 1 pixel off, and sometimes that kind of, for me, I'm more of a perfectionist, so that kind of thing I usually tend to find my way around it, and probably just, if it's someone else's, if it's someone else's design, I tend to call the person's attention to that aspect. So alignment is just arranging your elements, probably in terms of grid, like okay, you have different elements grouped together, probably in a container. Yeah, you make sure they are aligned vertically and horizontally, because you don't want your design to be scattered everywhere. You don't want the design to be scattered everywhere. If you are designing from top to bottom, make sure it's maintained and your margin is 120 from the edge. Make sure all your elements are aligned within that 120 margin um, from the edge of your web design, from your website frame. If it's mobile, if you are using 16, make sure it's aligned 16 pixels away from the edge. You can say one element is 16 away from the edge, then and that element along that line is 20 pixels away. No, it's kind of off. Then scale, we all know what scale is, just size, basically size. Okay, how large and how small your elements are in your UI design. Then yeah, the next one is laws of UX. The reason why I include laws of UX is just because as a UI designer, we need to understand some of the laws of UX, if not all, some of the laws of UX design, like the grouping, the whole proximity law, and all, and then the button. There is a law about the button. I don't really remember the laws in my head, but yeah, you understand what I mean. Those are the fundamentals of UI design. Understanding the fundamentals will actually help a long way in designing your UI. Then yeah, for I said I wasn't going to dwell long on theory, so I got this design task from the website. I really can't remember. I got it from the website. So yeah, um, okay. So here it says, "Hello, I'm Jeff. I'm writing to you in regard to our company, Freela, a fintech agency that focuses on freelancing and client management. On our landing page, freela.com, users can easily get a glimpse of what our product is all about, such as keeping track of their payments and reading some of the most asked questions. Okay, I'm currently looking for a web designer and you seem perfect for the job. I'm asking you to design us a new landing page for Freela website. I would like the design to be product oriented rather than people oriented. I also wanted to see get convenience of managing and transacting with Freela as a headline, and with under it, easily manage your clients and payments with end-to-end financial management in a single platform. And underneath the CTA that says, okay, basically what this design task is just asking us, I think, is giving us an idea of where of what our landing page should look like. And yeah, it's giving us idea. And okay, get started. Yeah, I want a CTA, and then that says get started in a black color, another beside it that says watch demo. I also want there to be a few sections on the landing page, such as partners, core features, demo, blah blah blah. I really wanted to make it simple, attractive for our clients to easily get a glimpse of what our product is all about. I think they said it here. I would like you to mainly use black and white with shades of gray, as it fits the vibe of traveling locations, thriller. That is all the information I have for you. Okay, so basically, we already have an idea of what the client wants. We have the idea. The clients wants a landing page, and like you said here, he wants the design to be product oriented rather than people oriented. So product oriented in the sense that it's trying to advertise the product. So he wants images that are centered around the product, not people itself. So we want product-based images here. So, and he has told us the sections we want. He wants. He wants the partner section, the core features, demo, why choosers, frequently asked questions, download, newsletter, and testimonials. Okay, yeah. So in order not to waste our time, I already have some of I was able to get some of the assets we would need. I don't know if this is going to be all, but I was able to get some of them, the icons, the partners, then the images. So pardon the image here. I couldn't get a fintech dashboard that I could use here, so I just brought this in here and here too as well for the mobile. So yeah, I was able to come up with sketches. So sketches for different sections of the page according to what he stated. So the hero, the core features, download, demo, FAQs, testimonials, and product features. So without further ado, let us begin our UI design. Yeah. Uh, okay. So I'm going to start with frame. I'm going to start creating a frame. So shortcut A or F. Then I'm choosing desktop. Yep. So drag this here. Then okay, what he said here, I think we have our top nav with the logo and some text link and a button here. So let me pick my logo from here. Yeah, this is my logo here. So the first thing I'm going to do here before I actually start designing, I'm going to create my grid. Okay, yeah, I'm going to create my grid and I'll be making use of this layout grid columns. Yeah, so the formula I use here is for my counts, I use 120, no 12. I use 12 colors. Then for the color, I use more of gray. So like I don't like this red, so I make use of gray, B8, B8, B8. Then I leave all these ones as the same. Then the margin is basically the distance from your frame, the edge of your frame to where you want to start placing your elements. So I make use of 120 for that. So yeah, so we have 12 columns, then distance from the edge is 120. So another thing I do is for my top nav, I make use of ruler and I place it 72 pixels from the edge here. 72, yeah. So 72 pixels from the edge and 120 from the left and right hand side. So the first thing I want to do is to place my logo, copied my logo. Uh, then I make sure I align it 120 pixels, as you can see here, 120 pixels from the left and 72 pixels from the top. So the next thing I want to do, I'm placing text link at the center here. So text link at the center. Let me see. I'm going to be using. Let me type in home. I think home is a common text link. I'm using Actiforma font. I'm using Actiforma font. Then the size. I'm going to be using more of 20 grid. I say 20. I'll be using more of 8-point grid system, but in some cases I might deviate. But yeah, majorly I'm going to be using 8-point grid system. So all my font size, the spacing will be in the multiples of 8. So, but this I'm going to go with, let me see, 24. We have 24 to fine. So, placing it here, 72 pixels from the top. Then I'll duplicate this, align it to the center. Then we can call this one features. Then We can call this one, let's say, how it works. Then, yeah, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be using 8-point grid system. So my spacing, my font size, everything should be within the 8-point grid system. So the spacing between this text here, 56, which is a multiple of 8, then this to 56 multiples of 8. Then now, since we're on the home page, I would like to make more prominent than the other ones here. So for that, I'm going to make this bold. And I also want to use pure black. So I'm going to make use of a shade of black to 6. Then for this one and this one, since they are inactive, I'm going to make use of a gray color. Sorry, typing code because I'm already used to the particular color. So I might not be making use of this color palette here. So yeah, I think this is fine. But I'm going to make this one medium. Yeah, so make it 56. 6. Yeah, so I'm going to auto layout, shift A to add auto layout, then center everything. Yeah, then I'm going to add a button here like we have here. We have a button here. So this button, I can make it, let me duplicate this here. Yeah, so this can be 16. Yeah, then I'm going to make it a button by adding auto layout, then padding from left to right. Let's try, let me add a stroke instead. To 6 to 6 to 6. Then 24. Top and bottom. Let's try 16, 16. Line it. Let's make this also black. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And let's make it contact us. Yeah. So this should be 120 away. Make use of sharp corners here. So I'm going to rounded corners. And let's make use of 8. Here, 8 pixels rounded corners. Then yeah. So that's that for the navigation. So like the client said here, he said he wants the heading to read "Get Convenient." So yeah, with this convenience and convenience and try you to explain to you in terms with Freela. So let's increase this. Okay, 56 is okay for me. 90, but it's moving out of the frame, and I don't want to move out of. I can just get one, then align it to the center here. And I'm going to make this, let's bold. I think bold, yeah, bold is fine. Color 6. And for the caption, the blur mix. back and forth on that. So for the caption here, I don't want it to be here, so I'm going to reduce the size. I'm making that here for the caption. Then font weight regular. This is something I do like, so me using font size, like just increasing font size and all just comes. So yeah, so I have a plugin that helps me come up with text. So that's the some plugin. Okay, should come up soon. Yeah, so yeah, just a little bit wider. Yeah, and I want a 3-line caption. I want a 3-line caption instead of a 2-line caption. So I just do auto generate here. Then yeah. So for this, I'm going to make use of a gray color. Oh, sure. Yeah. So yeah, this is fine. This is fine for me. And let's play with the line height a little. Let's say 32. Yeah, so 16 times 2. That's the formula I use for my line height. So the font size times 2. That's the formula I use for my line height. So I bring this up. Yeah, 16 is okay. 16 pixels away from the heading. That's fine by me. Like I said, 8 points grid system. Then the client said he wants a button that says get started. So I can just duplicate this one here. But instead of making it a button, I'm going to make it a primary kind of button. So it's going to have a fill. It's going to have a fill. So let's make this get started. And the color of the fill, remove the stroke, make it black. Then the text, I can make use of F9, F9. No, I make use of F, F, F. Yeah, so I can, this is fine. Bring it, yeah, a little. Then we have another button that says watch demo. So I don't want it to be the same kind of button. So I'm just going to make it a link, a text link. That's like a text. So this would be watch demo and without fill. So this turns to black. So like I have here, I already have a play icon here. So I can just copy that and paste it inside this frame here. Yeah, so we have these 2 buttons here. So we're going to make it center align. Yeah, so how many pixels? It is safe, no? Yeah, 48 is okay. Yeah, so we have our heading, our hero section. Let me move this up a bit. Yeah, so this is fine. We have this already. Then we can add like a social proof to and to make our users feel like they can trust us. Okay, yeah. So for that, I'm going to put in our part. So something like say over 21k partners, or over 21k companies will trust us with their partner wholeheartedly. Yeah. So this is kind of tiny for me, so I'm going to increase the size. Yeah, this is fine. This is a subheading, so I'm not going to make it be the same size with this heading here. This is a subheading here, so I'm going to make this um, 2 many pixels. Let's make it, yeah, I think 120 is okay. Yeah, so for social proof, then we have this, we have our partners here, so I can just copy this and paste. Where I got these logos from, there's a plugin I use called um, Better Logos. So let me arrange this wall 32. Yeah, so I'm going to frame it. Yeah, they make it center aligned, then 32 pixels from, let me make it 72 instead. Hmm? No, let me make it 40. Yeah, 40 is okay. So yeah, where I got these logos from a plugin called Better Logos. So they have a lot of logos like companies you've not heard of. So you can just type in the logo you want. Let's say you want Airtable. Yeah, so you can get the icon mark and you can get the icon and the word mark. You can search for Dribble. Okay, they don't have Dribble. Then Airbnb. Why is it not bringing? I think it's my network. My network is messing me up. But basically, you can search for any kind of logo here. So it comes up with either the word mark or the logo mark as well. So you can just click and drag. And the fun thing about it is it's a component. They are all components. Here you get. So yeah. Then we can then continue with this. We are done with our hero section here. So we can say, okay, we are done with this section according to what we have on our sketch here. So we are done with that here. So this is our hero section here. Then you can continue with the next section, which is core features. Yeah, core features. So we have a tiny little heading at the top here. A tiny little heading at the top. I'm going to duplicate this, but I'm going to make this um, 208 pixels from this particular section here. And now this is decimal. I don't like decimal, so I just open the round all plugin, then round all of them. Yeah. So yeah, 208 pixels from here. 208 pixels isn't that too much. Let me make it um yeah, 168 is fine. So yeah, this would be core features and center align. Now the reason why I'm going down this route of everything being centered is because right from the heading we already have our heading and our caption and our city is center aligned. So it will be kind of off if we just jump into left and right. So I'm just trying to maintain this kind of visual balance from the hero section down to this section here. So we have a tiny little heading here that says core features, and we can make this, um, yeah, kind of gray. Then here we have the main heading. We have the main heading. Let me duplicate this. Sorry, I'm lazy. Instead of me typing from scratch, I like to duplicate and just tweak it. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to make this semi-bold and increase. Let me type in. Let's say designed for payments. I'm not a copywriter, so just mind my text. Just mind my copy. So let me specially designed for payments. Let me increase this to 40. Yeah. Then not pure black, 262626. And let's make this medium. Yeah, medium is okay. Medium is fine. So yeah, medium is okay. Yeah, medium is fine. So here we have the core features icon with a heading, then sub with caption in three places here. We have icon with a subheading, then with the body of the particular feature. So that's can let me bring in this. Um, this so paste here. Yeah. So I want it to be here. Now you might think these icons are tiny, these things are tiny, but mind you, when you are previewing it on desktop, they are going to be large. Okay, yes. So because I'm actually zooming in and out, so it might seem small to you, but they are not small. Please don't make that mistake. So I'm going to make this 72 pixels from here. I'm going to type in, let's say, safety guaranteed. Uh, Align. I'm going to align it here. Yeah. Then make it 24 pixels from the icon. Yeah. So this should be 16. I'm going to align this. Yep. Then frame it. Then I'm going to type in my body text. Let's say Freela is super secured. Let me align this first, please. So this can be eight pixels from here. And let's make it regular instead. Then 16. Then make it grayish. 7C, 7C, 7C. Yeah. So Freela is super secured. So you don't need to worry about um, phone or data privacy. Yeah, yeah. So that's for this. Then I can, yeah. Let me just make this a frame instead. Then frame this too as well. So yeah, we have that. Then we can duplicate this away. Can duplicate this. Sorry. Then make it center align. Then duplicate again. Okay, they are too close to each other for me. I don't want that at all. So let me make this. No, 6. Uh, yeah, 176 is okay. And this too as well. 176, yeah. So yeah, so we have the core features designed. Then we can continue. I'm going to leave this here. I don't want to be bothering about copies and all. I can do that later. So we have this designed already. Then the next part is down. I don't think download should come up. How? No, I don't think this should come up. Okay, we can do demo. We can do demo. No, no, no. Let's go to, yeah, product features. Yeah, I know that. So we have product features. We have the image of the phone, and we have a tiny heading here, and we have a subheading. Then we have the body of that feature, and we have a CTA here. So yeah, we can just copy this phone and paste it. So I want this to be, I don't want it to be too far away from each other. So I'm going to make use of, I don't want this to be far away from each other. So let me make this multiples of 8. Don't forget, into 8. Into 8 is divisible by 8. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Now, let's make this 240. Yeah, 240. Yeah, see now, I'm maintaining the 120 pixels away from the, I'm not designing outside it. I'm still designing inside the grid here. So I don't have something coming out here, coming too close to the edge, no. So I'm still within the grid system here. So take note of that. Then in our sketch, we have a tiny heading and a subheading. So instead of me creating from scratch, I can just copy this chief here and place it here. Let's make it 176. Yeah, so we can change it to why choose us. Yeah, we can change it to why choose us. Then we have a big heading. Yeah, we have a big heading here, like we have down here. So for this, we can um, yeah, okay, we can increase the size of this 40, 48. Let's try 48. And let's change the color to 6. Yes. Then semi bold. Let's make it extra bold. Then we can call this monitor your. Does monitor sound right? Let's make it track your payments. Your payments in the best possible way. Yeah, we have that. I think this is, yeah, this is fine for me. The line height is too much for me, so yeah, 64 is fine. Yeah, so I make this 8 pixels away. Then we have our body, the caption for this particular feature here. So let's see, or let me use the Remington. Sorry, let me use the Remington. I'm just trying to lay out the structure, so let me not just waste time on copy and also. I want this to extend here. Then I want something as high as this. Yeah. So auto generates, and this is too big for me. This is too big for me. So 16, 16 is fine. So yeah, I want something like this. So like we have here, we have bullet points for each body here. So 2 lines for each. So bullet points, 2 lines, bullet points for um, each copy. So we can do this here and remove this one here. And we can, I mean, make this, yeah. So I can duplicate this and say 16. Yeah. So we have 2 bullet points, and it's too thick for me. Regular. Yeah, regular is fine. Yeah, regular is fine for me. Yeah. Then we have our CTA. So I can just copy this big guy from here, then paste it here. Then you can make it, yeah, make sure it's aligned. Let me frame this daddy here. then the granddad, yeah, and frame this, then frame everything, yeah. So we have one feature done. So I'm going to align to the center, like, but is it vertical or horizontal? I'm just going to align it here, make it align with the phone as well. Sorry. So frame these two bodies here, then make sure it's aligned to the center, then here too as well. So I'm just going to, I want two features. This here, two features, and since they are together, I can just make it, instead of having 208, I can make it 104. I can make it 104, then I can rearrange. I want the phone to come here and I want the text to come here so it doesn't look too twisted. So I can just say Shift H. So the shortcut I hit here was Shift H. So what Shift H does is to flip horizontally. So instead of me moving everything around, I can just flip everything horizontally. Then I can go into each of them. This one, then flip it back. This one to flip it back. So yeah, that's that. So we can continue. Um, the next section that we want to design here is the demo. Yeah, the demo. So we can create the demo here. Very simple kind of demo. Um, background, with the background, small heading, subheading, then icons with the subheading and body. Then we have lines here. So to signify progress, or yeah, steps actually. So I can just draw this. So one thing I do is I make use of rectangle first. I make use of rectangles first before I frame, just to get the layout of what I want to design. Please don't crucify me for making use of rectangles yet. So yeah, center it, then 208 from the other section. Don't forget. Then the background, I want to make it kind of off-white, but very subtle. So I can say, yeah, this is fine. This is fine here. Then we have our, let me just copy this guy here, frame it, then copy this guy, paste it here. Then I want it to be, let's see, yeah, 80 pixels away from the top. Then demo. Yeah, then we can call this how it works. Then yeah, this is too short for me. Let's say how does it work? It works. How does it work? Yeah. Now from the sketch we have icons, then subheading with lines. So this is what I'm trying to replicate here. So let me just bring this guy here so I won't have to be moving up and down. So I just draw a rectangle here. No crucify me, oh, don't crucify me yet, please. 80 pixels. What can I make use of here? Okay, make use of this here. Paste in the center. Now remember the client said he wants to use black and white, so take that into consideration. Black and white. That's why I'm making use of black and white. Yeah, 80. I'm making use of 8-point grid system. So everything, all my dimensions, everything, I'm just trying to make it align. It's 8-point grid system rather. So let's make this 8. Then we can make this black to 6 to 6 to 6. Then we can make this white, say like F9, F9, F9. Yeah. that's for this. Oh god. Then we can duplicate this one, bring it here to the center. Then I think this is too far away from. Is it too far? Okay. So yeah, 363. 363. Yeah. So we have three steps here on how it works. So I can change this icon. Let me make use of plus this one and paste this one here. Then change the color to F9, F9, F9. Then the next icon, next step for this one here. Then make this F9, F9, F9. Then mind you, oh, okay, yeah, mind you, we have lines. Yeah, that's significant. Okay, dotted lines instead of solid lines. So I can make this as long as this. Width to 72. Okay. So 53, should it be 53 or 56? Um, let's make it 40. Or so center line. Then I'm going to make it broken instead of solid. It's just aesthetics, nothing serious. So let's make use of 8. 8 is fine. Then we'll duplicate this big guy, bring it here too as well. So yeah. Okay, so we have how does it work here? And let me increase the size of this. Then we have a subheading for each one of them. Let's say the first one is to create an account and reduce the size. Like I'm going to make it of 16. Yeah, 16 is okay. Yeah, align it. Then medium and subheading. Sign up on Freela, and you can make this regular. Then the color, yeah, visual hierarchy. Yeah, so sign up on Freela. We'll duplicate this guy here. Then duplicate this guy here. Yep. So we can bring this up here. So later on, you can then frame it. You can then frame it when you've gotten your layout for that. You can then frame it. Then for the next section, I think after this, I wouldn't want to waste much of your time. It's already 7. The next section is testimonials. The next section is testimonials. So testimonials, quite simple. So give me a minute. Oh, you guys can. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Let me just reduce this out of this. Okay. Yeah, 208. 208. So these testimonials. Then, yeah, what our client says about us. Abi? What our clients have said about us, rather, have said about Freela. Boom, center line. Now, that's a recurring thing, so I don't need to. Okay, so for testimonials here, so this is the layout I had in mind for that. So cards basically for the layout for testimonials. So, but I'm going to differentiate between the hover state and the default state of each testimonial. So we have a card, then the write up, then the picture of the person, the name of the person, and probably the person's role at any company or organization. So let's go with um, a rectangle. At the end of the day, I'm going to frame it. So just to get the layout, just to get the layout. So 72 pixels away. Remember, roundness, consistency, 8-point grid system. This is a wider shape. This is very small, so this takes up more round space, more roundness. So, yeah, remember we're making use of 12 column grid, so I'm going to divide it into two for each card. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is where it terminates. This. Ah, God. Yeah. So we have this here too as well, duplicated here as well. 120. This is too wide. Too wide. Yeah. So we have our first card. Let me make this wider a bit. Yeah. Higher. Yeah. So we have our first card. Then the color. Let's make the color F4, F4, F4. Or let's make it white. Let's make it white since we're still going to make it of drop shadow. So make some same as before. Let me just quickly do this here. 16 pixels away from the edge. Or let's make it 32 pixels away from the edge. Yeah, then let's make this one. I'll make this one 40. Yeah. Then the size is too big. Let's make it 16. Then increase it. Okay. And we can see this. So drop shadow. 20, 40. Now the formula is my drop shadow is simple. My y value, my blur value is always times 2 of my y value. So if I have 10 as my y value, my blur value is 20. If I have 20 as my y value, my blur value is 40. Okay, you feel me? So that's for the drop shadow. That's a trick I use. So this is too small, yeah, 40, 80. Then this is too harsh. So drop shadows are not meant to be very, very dark, like pitch black. No, because your shadows are not even black. Your real life shadows are not dark. They're always a shade of gray. Shade, yes. So I can just make this. Or instead, I have a color code in mind. Something like this: A4, A4, A4. Yeah. Then the opacity. Yeah, 20, 24 is okay for me. Then blur value should be 80. Yeah. So this is okay for me. Now back to the contents. I want to make this regular to tick for my liking. and extend this here. Then I want a 3-line content here. So lorem ipsum auto generates. Remember, I want a 3-line text here. I don't want something to dish. So yeah, is this text, this content is too jam-packed. Yeah, and it's not that legible. Like for readability, it's too choked up. You get what I'm saying? So I can just play with the line height. Like I said, 16 times 2 for my line height. Yeah, that gives me more space. That's the formula I use for my line height, 16 times 2. My font size times 2. That's what I use for my line height here. Then I can play with the color. Let's say 262626 like before. Like before. Yeah, yeah. 32, 40, 40. Perfect. So our picture. Yeah. So let's make this 48. Yeah, 48 is okay. Now I use a plugin for this too as well. Content Reel for that. For images, I use Content Reel or on Splash. So to generate random, I want to make use of this mail. Let's see. Okay, this is better. Yeah. So it takes the aspect ratio. It takes the dimension of your circle once it's selected. You select the shape, then you click on the image, then it takes the shape of that image. Of that, it takes the shape of your element. So yeah, that's that. Then the name, Raymond Reddington. Yeah, Raymond Reddington. Um, yeah, 16 is okay for me. Remember visual hierarchy. Visual hierarchy. This should be 262626. Then this can be grayish. Yeah. So CEO black list org. No, that's too corny. Blacklist um core corporation. Yeah. So yeah. So frame this daddy here, frame this one too as well, then align it. Hey, and align it to the center. Then you have your let's make this, you can make this 40. Yeah, 40 is okay. And this one, for this one, I want it to be equal. The distance from top here and the distance here too as well. I want it to be 40, 40. Not having an equal, I mean, consistency. Yeah, so 39, 39, 40. Yeah. So then our first card, remember you can frame this when you're done. So, but me, I'm not going to frame it. I don't want to waste your time. Then we can duplicate. Now, remember, I said I was going to do hover state and default state. So we have the hover state here already. Then the next thing to do is the default state. So for the default state, that means I'm not having any drop shadows. So I can make use of a color here just to make it stand out a bit, but not too much. Yeah, I think this is fine. So not to make it stand out a bit. Yeah, I think this is fine here. So we can then duplicate, place it under, like we have in our sketch, 3, 4, and 20. We have 20 here, so 20 here too as well for visual balance. So 20 here. So I don't like the color of the background here. It's F9. F9. Yeah, F9 is okay for me. Yeah, that white was too bright. Yeah, so let me turn off this grid for now so you can see what we've done. So basically, this is what we've done so far: hero, trust, social proof, core features, then why choosers, how it works, then testimonials. So that's that, and I wouldn't want to waste much of your time. So we can, I think the remaining parts, the remaining sections, here, just download, frequently asked questions, and probably the footer. So that's just that. So let me just quickly do something when you're presenting your UI, because I get asked that question a lot of times. So let me just use this opportunity to clarify that. So if I want to present on Dribble, I want to post my design on Dribble, and we all know that Dribble, if we are not on the pro account, you can only post one design at a time. So you want to maximize that opportunity as much as possible, probably to show all your designs if it's a website. So one thing I do is for presentation, social media, then Dribble shots, I multiply by two, by three rather, the dimension by three, lots of resolution. So yeah, we have 1000 by 9, 1200 by 900 for resolution. I do that. So I can export this. Let's call it Freela. Mm, yeah, I can export this probably in no times three. I export this in times three. I take a little while because it's kind of large. So um, so I'm exporting in PNG, not JPEG. Please take note of that. I'm exporting in PNG and not JPEG. So I have this now. I have my dribble shot. Then I'm bringing in my design filler, paste. Yeah, so this is my design. So now I'm placing it into my frame here. Now there are different ways you can present your design. There are different ways. So you can probably, if you want just the hero section alone, you can do it this way. Then if you want to showcase everything, you should have seen all those designs that something like this. Reduce the size, place it here, then you duplicate it, then you reduce the size of this, and then you place it here. Mind me, I'm just rushing through this. I don't, it might not be that perfect. Sure, you feel me? It might not be that perfect, but yeah, you get the gist. So then now drop shadow. Well, drop shadow 200, 400. Yeah, then not so dark, but something obvious. Yeah. So yeah, opacity is okay for me. Then you can then play with the background. You can add different elements to your background, anyhow you want it to be. Then you can also add perspective to it as well. So you have perspective to your design with isometric plugin. That's, you might have seen some of my designs that are always tilted in a way. Yeah, they are tilted in a way, like in 3D space. You can actually do that so as well. So this is a way of presenting your UI or dribble if you're trying to maximize the opportunity as well. So that's that. Basically, I didn't want to go through this whole landing page because of time and all. So, but yeah, I think I've covered most aspect of it as well. So if you have any questions, please, you can ask right away. If you have any questions, please, you can ask. I'm with you. Okay, what plugin did you call? Sorry, please, if you have any questions, you can drop them. Okay, what plugin did you call? Sorry, what plugin did you call for the other dribble type of presentation? Okay, yeah, I said isometric. Isometric. So you might have seen some of my designs, like those ones that are always tilted, like they're in perspective. I don't know if you've seen them. I use isometric plugin for those design, but at the same time, you might forget the value you are using. So what I do is I make it a template. So whenever I design a website, I duplicate and replace it with my new UI design. So instead of creating a new one from scratch, I just replace and replace and replace. So the name of the plugin is isometric plugin. Isometric plugin. Although there's another one too as well. That one is called Skill That. That, but I haven't really used that much. But yeah, you can try any one of those two. Isometric plugin and Skill That. Yes. Any other question? If you have, do you have any other question? Please, I'm here. Or let me go through the chat. If yes, can proceed. So why me? Why me? I'm doing this thing. All of you are insulting yourself. No wala. What is the name of the plugin for rounding up values, please? Okay, that's round all, round all, round all um plugin. So for the round all, you can you have different um. Sorry, I have a lot of. I need to customize this plugin stuff. So you have the option to select. You select what you're trying to adjust. Then you click on selection, or you can round up all the files in your all the frames, everything, all the elements in your design here, you can round them up. But this will take a lot of time if you have a lot of elements on that file. Sure, yeah. So me, I just go one by one, just selection and all. So that's what I do. Any other question? Okay. In the absence of any more, you're welcome, ma. In the absence of any more question, you're welcome, ma. So you can just I will try and send the file to Josh. So I don't know how he's going to do it. So if you need the file, I can just drop it for him. So you can just check it out as well and just have a look at it for yourself. So yeah, thank you everyone, and have a nice evening.